welcome to the next installment of the ARX 140. Today what I'm going to do is target level this troublesome fret right here, so that I don't have to level all the frets. I just want to level this one because it's a little high. So what we're going to need to do this is a stick, first of all, and find out why. You may be able to figure it out already. A Sharpie, of course. Always got to have a Sharpie, even if you don't need it. A couple of different types of tape, but not necessarily. You only really need one. I would go with a wider one, if possible. Oops, there I go, bumping the camera. Also going to need either a real one or one like mine, a ghetto fret rocker, so you can check yourself. I'm going to be using some calipers in this gig here, and I will be using my capo as well. Oh, and last but certainly not least, some sandpaper. This just happens to be sticky back. There is a way that you can do it without sticky back, just by putting some tape on the actual stick and gluing the non-sticky back paper to the tape. And then you can pull the tape off and do it again if you need to replace the paper before you're done. So with that, we're going to get on with finding the range. That'll be next, coming up. Finding the range? What the hell is he talking about? I'm just talking to myself, I guess. No, finding the range is finding out just exactly how big I want my sandpaper surface to be, and that's where my little thin tape comes in. Rip off two pieces of it. I'm going to stick one right here for now, and the other one I'm going to put, because I don't want to sand this one, I'm going to put the other one right here-ish. That's where I'm going to want my sandpaper to stop. I'd rather have that straight, although that's good. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Okay, anyway, right about where that comes over the edge. Okay, now I want to roll this back so that I'm still over this fret here, and I still have sandpaper over it. I'm not going to be hitting the non-sandpaper part, but I want to make sure that my sandpaper isn't going to affect this one over here. So, well, I'm sorry about the bump again. Put it right about there. So, that's my sandpaper range. So now, what I'll do is I'll get my sandpaper on there. Okay, got my piece of sandpaper on there. And now, see my range there? See, this is the fret in question. And so I can come all the way back to there, and I can move it back and forth to file that fret down without affecting this fret or this fret. So, what's next is I have to even it up, because this is going to be a lot lower than the rest of it, or this side is going to be lower than this. It's going to be raised up. So that's why I get the calipers out. And I'll show you here, hopefully. May or may not register, I don't know. These are cheap calipers, so we'll just take a peek. I'm going to measure to where that is, and that appears to be 8 millimeters right on the nose, and over here 7.8. So what I want to do is take my yellow tape and put it on here until it's roughly 8 millimeters, and then it'll lay flat on there and file this down, but not pile it down too much. So let's get started on that. Okay, as you can see here, I hope I can. I got my tape on there. I put it pretty much right next to the sandpaper so that I'd know where to put my sandpaper back again. Doesn't have to be exact, but should be pretty close. As far as the width, I ended up putting 2 coats of tape on it. Let's see what the heck we got here. That one's at 8, and this one's at 8.3, which is close enough. So I'll be checking it with a fret rocker too. Well, as I mentioned, see, there we are. I can go all the way back to there and go to there. So I got just about the full range of the sandpaper. Sumac does make a tool that, and I think there's other companies that make it too, but Sumac's is called a fret kisser, and almost looks like a fret rocker, but it's weird. Anyway, it's 125 bucks. So, and I'm just a guitar hobbyist at this point, so I try to figure out ways to get around spending $125 on something for a $180 guitar. So here we go. We're going to do one more thing before we get started on leveling this, and that is we're going to bring our dealio all the way back to the rear range, or the back stroke range, and we are going to put the capo in as a stopper. I can go back further. So can you see, yeah, you can see the capo. So the capo is going to be my back stopper. The nut's going to be my front stopper. So we will get on with doing that in just a second here. Okay, I'm ready if you are. First, we're going to put a little bit of a Sharpie mark on there, very carefully. Although you can't clean this stuff off, you get it on the guitar. So, with a little bit of what do you call it? Just anything. I usually use acetone real quick to just wipe it off of there. But that's mark is to see how far I'm going, and keep in mind that on my channel I try to do things inexpensively, because that's the idea. If you're a hobbyist, if you want to do it yourself, these are some good ways to go about saving money, so you don't have to buy a bunch of expensive tools. And so here we go. Sounds like it's doing something. The only issue with this procedure is that I may have to do it or change the paper frequently to get any ground moved on this thing. So I'm looking for my little brush. Looks like it's doing something. Of course it is. Okay, but we need mo. We need mo. We need mo. I'm gonna find that little brush. Okay, so anyway, let's change the paper. It's as simple as peeling the paper off of there. I already have another piece of paper set up to go on there. And just stick it on there. And go at it again. Sometimes the lighter you go, the longer the paper lasts. But this isn't the most expensive paper in the world. So As you can see, it's flattening out. Needs a little less in this area, which my rocker indicated. You know, it's getting less and less rocky there. So I'm not going to bore you with taking you through filing this whole thing down as far as flattening it out, but we'll be back when it's time to recrown it. Okie dokie. We are leveled-ish. It just barely has a little tiny rocky, which come out with the recrowning. Now on this setup here, you can use 80 as well. You just have to make the paper or the tape a little thicker. Like I said, I put 2 layers of tape on this to equal this 150 here. So now we will make sure it's well brushed off here, and I'll put some tape on it on here and put a fresh coat of Sharpie on it, and we'll start recrowning. Alrighty then, once again, we're back with the recrowning tool here, and I have went ahead and put the Sharpie mark on there. I'm at a weird angle because I'm behind the camera, so pretty straightforward. My HB30 series has recrowning on it, and I'm certainly not going to bore you with this whole thing. So what I'll do is I will finish this up, and then I will polish it and dress it and all that good stuff, and be back with the finished product. So okay, fret's all done. No more rocky. We have a nice clean fret that doesn't tower above the rest of them, and you can probably see that the tape took off some of the grime. My next project will be just to clean and dress the rest of the frets, and do the same thing with the neck, and put a coat of that synthetic oil over it. So let me get a close-up if I can of this fret here. Bring it down a little bit. Take some Dramamine if you need to. So yeah, nice and clean. So there's how you do it. Targeting one fret out of however many you have on your guitar. Gets a little bit more iffy as you get higher up and the frets are closer together, but there's ways to do that too. You can take your oops, better back up again a little bit. Take your custom-made fret filing apparatus here, and you can make the paper much thinner, and you can go straight across this way to try to get it filed down when you get the frets that are closer together. So anyway, until next time, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you are so inclined, and we'll see you in the next one.